Fantasy football season is upon us, folks. Let's talk what is going on, y'all. FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video. Talking, of course, some NFL, talking fantasy football, giving you guys my fantasy football advice before I get into the video for today. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Turn on post notifications down below because you're not going to want to miss it. And number two, if you guys are interested in playing fantasy football against me, go ahead and use the link down below to sign up and register for my league, Yahoo Fantasy Football for FaizSportsTalk official league that I make every year. I made it last year. I won. So see if you guys can beat me. There will be prizes. You're not going to want to miss it. It's first come, first serve. But with that being said, let's get into today's video where I give you guys and continue my series of my sleeper picks in fantasy football. So I did my running backs. I did my receivers. Let's do tight end. Let's give you my top 5 tight end sleepers for this coming season. Now, real quick, before I start, remember what sleepers are. These are guys that are not getting drafted where they should be. They're getting drafted a lot lower than where they should be. These are not really big name guys because obviously people know about the big names. I'm not going to be talking about Gronk or Travis Kelce or guys like that. We're talking about guys under the radar, okay? So let's go and get on with it. At number 5, I've got Luke Wilson of the Detroit Lions. Yes, Luke Wilson. Who are you talking about, Faiz? If you guys have not paid attention, Luke Wilson is going to be the new basically starting tight end for the Detroit Lions after they let go of Eric Ebron, who is now on the Indianapolis Colts. And Luke Wilson was the backup in Seattle last year when Jimmy Graham was a starter. And believe me, Luke Wilson can ball out, but he just did not get enough opportunity because, again, Jimmy Graham, who is now with the Green Bay Packers. So Luke Wilson is going to be in an offense that throws the ball a lot. I mean, you know Matt Stafford likes to air it out. And Luke Wilson has great hands, has a career catch percentage of 65%. He's a great red zone threat. He's a red zone machine, really. And for me, when I look at tight ends, I'm looking at guys that are starting tight ends, of course, that have that upside in a pass-heavy offense, and that is exactly what Luke Wilson is. They had to get rid of Eric Ebron because Matt Stafford kept throwing him the ball, but Ebron had bricks for hands and couldn't catch anything, and hopefully Luke Wilson will be able to catch that, folks. At the rate he's going, I mean, he might even be on the waiver wire. He might not even be getting drafted, but I'm telling you, this guy is a streaming option. But not only that, he could be solidified himself as a tight end, mid-tier tight end 1, a high-end tight end 2. So go ahead and take a look at Luke Wilson. At number 4, I've got George Kittle of the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people don't know about George Kittle, who is going into the second year now. Last year, as a rookie, put up 43 catches for 515 yards and 2 touchdowns. And again, the theme here is pass-heavy offenses, and that is exactly what the 49ers are, which with a head coach Kyle Shanahan, their new quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. You're talking about a whole off season of being with the team, learning the plays and everything, being with Jimmy G and developing that rapport. I think George Kittle is going to get a lot of balls thrown his way. He's going to be Jimmy G's security blanket, if you will. I think he is going to be a great sleeper option, and you can get him at a very, very discounted price. Even last year, he played less than 60% of snaps and put up those numbers I just talked about. So this season, if he plays more snaps, you can certainly expect more production, and he's not getting drafted like that. Actually, I don't even know if he's getting drafted. He might even be on the waiver wire in some leagues. So George Kittle is a great guy to pick up off your waiver wire if he is not drafted, and stash him on your bench because he has that upside that you're looking for, and he will not cost you anything. At number 3, I've got a good old reliable Jack Doyle. Now, a lot of people are getting scared because Eric Ebron, again, like I said, signed with the Colts. So will he be competing with Jack Doyle? Folks, Eric Ebron has bricks for hands. I told you this. The man can't catch anything, okay? Jack Doyle played in 95% of snaps last season. 95. And now with Andrew Luck back, you think they're not going to put out Jack Doyle out there? Absolutely they will, okay? And Jack Doyle is the security blanket that Andrew Luck is exactly looking for right now. Andrew Luck, I've watched him in preseason. He's not airing the ball out deep like 60, 70 yards. So T.Y. Hilton isn't going to be the main guy in terms of getting the deep balls right away because Andrew Luck is still working his way back into regular shape. Jack Doyle is going to get a lot of those targets right in the middle of the field, so it's 15, 20 yards, 10-yard catches. Andrew Luck's going to start out slow and steady And then once he picks up his stride, hopefully T.Y. and these other guys will catch balls. But I'm telling you, Jack Doyle is still a great tight end. He's a solid guy. He can put up standard league numbers. Standard numbers. He'll give you 8 to 10 points every week. He's got that type of floor. Very safe guy to draft. Jack Doyle. He could be your starting tight end, and you can come at a very discounted price. At number 2, I've got Trey Burton. Folks, again, the theme here is pass-happy offenses. Trey Burton comes over from the Philadelphia Eagles, where he was a backup behind Zach Ertz, and now he's going to be a full-time starter on the Bears in their new offense with head coach Matt Nagy, who is a great creative offensive mind. And you're going to get a guy who is going to be able to get a lot of balls thrown to him because Mitch is going to trust him. He's going to throw to him a lot. And I'm telling you that there are going to be plays drawn up just for Trey Burton, okay? So with him being a number 1 tight end in the offense, you can expect a decent number of balls thrown to him. Allen Robinson, the number 1 receiver for the Bears, he's still not right 100% from that ACL injury. Taylor Gabriel, that are other receivers, just deep threat. Anthony Miller, very impressive, but he's still a rookie. So Trey Burton is going to be that security blanket for Mitch Trubisky that he's going to trust, and I bet you he's going to be a great player for you guys to go ahead and draft. So go ahead and look at Trey Burton. He could be your starting tight end, and you will be very happy because where you got him, okay? The hype train is going to go up a lot for Trey Burton. He caught a touchdown in preseason, thrown by Mitch Trubisky, so the rapport is already there. Go ahead and look at Trey Burton, my number 2 tight end. And at number 1, my favorite tight end sleeper by far, and the hype train for him is out of the freaking roof. It's David Njoku of the Cleveland Browns. You saw him make that ridiculous catch in the end zone when Baker Mayfield threw the ball to him in the first preseason game. And ever since, people have been talking about David Njoku. But, folks, I watched this guy last year, and he was a red zone machine. He led the Browns in red zone targets last year. And he is a big physical target who really has no weakness. You can find him in the red zone, in the middle of the field. He can even go deep, and he's got great hands, great size, runs good routes. I'm telling you, David Njoku is the real deal. Now, the Browns receiving corps has very much upgraded. You've got Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon. What am I saying, Josh Brown? Josh Gordon is now coming back, of course. But David Njoku is going to get a certain number of balls thrown to him. Why? Because, 1, he's reliable, he's trustworthy, and he is big. And so he's a security blanket type of tight end where Tyrod Taylor, Baker Mayfield, whoever ends up being the quarterback, they are both going to look for him. He is not quarterback dependent like a lot of these other tight ends. I'm telling you, he can play with just about anybody. David Njoku could certainly be your starting tight end, and you could definitely get him at a very discounted rate and spend your other picks on top-tier running backs, receivers, and still be getting tight end 1 type of production from David Njoku. So go ahead and take David Njoku in your fantasy football draft, my number 1 sleeper tight. So there you have it, folks, my top 5 sleeper tight ends for fantasy football this year. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.